The Apostle John opens his first epistle by appealing to the embodied fellowship that he and the other apostles had with Christ. That which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon and have touched with our hands. He goes on to say, that which we have seen and heard, we proclaim also to you, so that you may too have fellowship with us. John and the other apostles were given the kind of relationship with Jesus Christ that many of us would be tempted to envy. They heard him, they saw him, they touched him, and yet John here offers us the same fellowship that he and the other apostles possess together with Jesus Christ. But how can John say this? How can he possibly invite us, who are 2,000 years removed with Christ at such a great distance, dwelling in the heavens at the right hand of the Father, how can he offer this same fellowship to us? Well, according to John, it is in the very proclamation of Christ himself that others can partake of this fellowship. In other words, it is when the apostolic message of Christ's death, resurrection, and ascension to the Father's right hand, when that message is faithfully proclaimed, Christ himself is held forth for you to behold with the eyes of faith, to hear with the ears of faith, to touch with the hands of faith. The same fellowship that the apostles had physically, we now possess by faith and in the power of the Holy Spirit, which really elevates for us what this service is all about. You see, every Lord's Day, an unworthy vessel of a man stands in this pulpit holding Christ out to you, setting him before you to behold, either as a great blessing for you, as you take hold of him for yourself by faith and participate in this grand fellowship with Christ and his apostles, or he is held out as a curse upon you. If you choose to remain in your sin, if you choose to have a hard heart, if you choose to be rocky soil in which the seed cannot grow. The stakes in this moment are high. Will you see Christ here today? Will you hear Christ? Will you take hold of Christ for yourself by faith this morning and be welcomed into this fellowship? Or will you refuse him for the love of your sin?